I'm pretty sure we are witnessing the crumbling of an empire known as the United States of America. And there are many signs pointing in that direction. And I'm not going to list them all, but I do want to talk about one in particular, and that is clothing, attire, fashion. I was just listening to a podcast by a clothing designer who designs suits for the likes of Jordan Peterson and other very controversial, famous people who have a conservative bent. And I like Jordan Peterson. So I'm not here to talk crap about Jordan Peterson. But the podcast really, it made me laugh. And so the guy was talking about how he only works with people, he only designs suits for people who share his political and ideological beliefs, and he is using clothing and clothing design to help promote and bring attention to those beliefs. Which, hey, I mean, the guy is being true to himself, right? And he's using his craft to be true to himself, I suppose. Even if maybe it's like a way that's a bit insidious or manipulative, but at the same time, he's talking outright about it, you know? And I say insidious because it's manipulative, I believe, to use your clothes to... He's teaching people how to use the understanding of psychology and history and times in history and how people dressed in history to present a certain image or idea of yourself. Okay. All right, but what if that's not actually true of the person's character? You're just teaching people how to manipulate other people. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what's happening in the world. This is how fashion is being used. We wear costumes, many of us. Because maybe you want to convey the idea that you're a cowboy. How many cowboys actually exist on the planet anymore? But you sure see a lot of people walking around in 10-gallon hats and cowboy boots and Wrangler jeans and pearl button-down shirts, you know? Costumes. Because we watch movies and we know what cowboys used to look like. Or maybe you want to portray yourself as an artist. Well, everybody knows that you put on that little French striped shirt and wear some skinny jeans and roll up the bottom and wear some loafers and bam, people are going to associate you with artistry. Oh, I bet that guy's creative. I bet he's a deep thinker. There's a lot of that shit going on. And that can only happen in a time where people are so comfortable and decadent in their lifestyles that they don't have to worry about wearing clothes that actually have any utility beyond promoting a certain idea or image. So, if you're going to play that game, let me suggest that maybe you think real hard about it. If you want to play it safe and you want to actually see people's hearts, maybe you play it down. Maybe you dress in a way that suggests you don't have a lot of extra money to spend on things like bright, shiny clothing that's, you know, well-tailored and pressed and made of silk and, you know, because there's a lot of people that want to look like they're bling-blinging and they're rolling in money, which might suggest that they are hard workers and smart and, you know, have invested well, but really they just have, I don't know, a credit card or parents who throw money at them. You don't actually know anything about a person based off just how they look. But you know them by their fruits, how they behave. So it's real dangerous just to judge a book by its cover, but it seemed to be that this guy was teaching everybody how to make a certain kind of cover to lure people in based off of what they might like to attract or present to the world. Okay. Maybe we should be focused more on developing our hearts and actually being a real thing rather than just looking like a thing. But back to what I was saying is if you're going to play that game, maybe you want to look like somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. Because you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat people who they believe have nothing to give them or offer them beyond a handshake and a smile. and honesty. You know, maybe you don't want to go around attracting people who might like to prey upon people who they think have money or status that they might be able to take advantage of, because we live in a world where there are a lot of desperate people who have all been conditioned to look at other people as objects, as what can I get from you? How can I use you to my advantage? That's how a lot of people are looking at other people, including you and me. And so, you know, I like to think I don't play that game. Now, I have a sense of style. I like to look nice. I feel like it's respectful to, you know, shower and smell nice and look like you actually care about yourself and other people, because you do. Because you actually do. But beyond that, I don't put a lot of extra time in painstakingly thinking about the image that I want to project into the world, because I just try to be the thing, and then it's self-evident. But if you're going to do that, think real long and hard about actually what you're doing. And it's a dumb game. It's a strange game. It's disingenuous. Is that actually a word? It's not truthful. It's dishonest. It's to just focus on looking a certain way rather than being a certain way. Form should and always does follow function. So may your form be honest, because you're honest. And yeah, I try to get most of my clothes at resale shops, or have them given to me like hand-me-downs or clothing swaps, because I don't want to support an industry which relies heavily upon slave labor or poor working conditions, or degrading or polluting the environment, which a lot of our clothing is made in ways that is just horrendous. Okay, a lot of clothing companies do use slave labor, and a lot of them are recklessly polluting the environment. So I don't want to support that industry. Okay, so a lot of my clothes is just like whatever I can find that fits me, that doesn't have holes in it, you know. But there are a lot of people that wouldn't be caught dead in used clothing because they don't want people to judge them a certain way. Well, that's because we live in a world where we're comfortable and we can worry about certain stupid things like that. But yeah, I guess I'm repeating myself at this point. Is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, just let's be real. Let's all be real. Yeah, so, Jordan Peterson. Like, I felt like he was playing that game. Like, he's a very snazzy dresser. So this guy who's designing his outfits for him, his suits, he's saying, like, yes, I did the cut and the line and the color because, you know, we want to present this image. And I don't know, whatever, maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's just he's being very intentional, but also just like, I think it's fine to wear any color suit that you like. And maybe we shouldn't think so hard about getting in other people's heads. It seems like occultish, witchcraftish, when you take it that far. Even it's like ritualistic when you start wearing a costume. I wish we could all just get back to living closely with nature and the land, and then we wouldn't be worried about such shit, because we would be worried about the weather and when it's going to rain and is it going to be windy or cold and when should I put my crops in the ground and when should I harvest, and then we don't have to worry about manipulating everybody with the tie we're wearing. Wouldn't that be nice?